news. We head around the water cooler with the Watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski, talking about a couple of financial stories, one of which is some banks are now test marketing $5 ATM fees. They're doing this in Texas and Illinois, Chase, and a few other banks. And some folks wondering why these fees are going so high.
Yeah, there was a Chris Rock skit. We was talking about people taking money out of ATMs at 2 o'clock in the morning. I've got a sinking suspicion that these ATMs are going to be those types, probably more seedy areas, and like I said, because they can.
Now, so far, the Wall Street Journal is saying, like Andy said, Texas and Illinois. Do you think that this is going to catch on and we're going to see it everywhere?
The banks will charge you $20 for an ATM fee if you're going to pay it. Just as much as any business is going to charge you what you're willing to pay. Right. If people say, you know what, I am not going to use this ATM machine because it's going to charge me, 25% on a $20 transaction, then they're not going to do it anymore.
Now, I bank with Bank of America, and that's one where you don't have to be as careful about making sure that you have enough cash, which is something that people had to do for hundreds of years when they left their home or left town, certainly. And so, because I make that choice to choose with a huge conglomerate bank like that, I often don't get hit with the fees. But if you want to make that choice not to have those fees, then you just have to be somebody that makes sure you have more cash on you. I mean, again, this is part of also the backlash of the regulatory reform. They're having their fees clamped down on by law in some areas, so they're looking to raise them in other areas. Yeah.
And if you want to get back at the bank, we have a wonderful story about how one guy did. This is absolutely hysterical. His name was Thierry, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Thierry Sanchez. He wanted to refinance, and the bank basically rejected him, and they also gave him a bunch of fees on his credit card. He was livid about this, so he paid his $6,500 debt in pennies. 650,000 pennies he rolled up into the bank to pay off his debt.
Well, if it makes him feel good, congratulations, but how long did it take him to do that? He probably could have worked off the $6,500 in the same amount in 1/10 the time that it did to collect the 650,000
Maybe, but that's pretty funny, you gotta admit.
It is. I like the one better, though, when they were, the kid did it at college with his tuition. Yes. He showed up there with the big stack of pennies.
That's awesome. A lot of time on their hands, right?
I guess so. More than I have.
Let us know what you think, and by the way, if you have any questions.
Here I got the boys joining me, but this is what we're asking today. How will you use your tax refund? Do you plan to spend it, or do you plan on saving it? Now, a lot of people get really excited when they get a check in the mail, but you're saying, Chris, that you shouldn't be excited.
Well, it's your money. That's what people fail to understand. They think they won the lottery or something like that, or won some sort of, sweepstakes.
They beat the government.
No, you didn't beat the government. That's just your money. The government took your money all year, and they took too much, and they're returning some of it to you. They're not giving you any interest either.
And the reason they took too much is because, and you can adjust. So Chris has talked about this before. If you do get a big refund this year, okay, we'll take it and do some wise things with it, invest in it, but also go down to your HR representative and maybe divide by 12 the amount you got in a refund and try to work it out such that you get zero and you owe zero, and then take that money and reinvest it for the next year in something that will earn interest.
Well, think about it. Even if government, honestly, if government didn't withhold money from people's paychecks, people would have to be a tax revolt in this country. But if you were able to keep your money over the course of the year, save it, and then pay at the end, you'd be able to collect interest on your money. But the government didn't work that way. They're smarter than that.
Our Galtime Financial Pro has this to say. This is what you should do with your money if you get any back. Pay off your credit card debt. Beef up your savings account. Another one is add an extra payment to your mortgage and contribute to a 529 college fund. We also posted this question on our Facebook page, and this is what some of our viewers had to say. Debbie says she's going to pay bills, finishing the construction project in my living room, added a wall, need to finish drywall, mud and paint, then buy a new TV for that new wall.
Renee says, it's already gone. My husband and I each got what we wanted. He bought a 40-foot car trailer for his race cars, and I got 2 gold tickets for a convention for the TV show Supernatural.
And Dennis, probably an 8-ball and a nice hooker off of Craigslist. TMI, Dennis.
These are your viewers.
We hope you're
How are you
joking,
going to spend
Dennis.
your refund?
Galtime and the Daily Buzz are giving away a purse and jewelry from Our House Jewels. Enter to win on Galtime.com, where you'll also find stories about style, beauty, and much more.
In honor of St. Patrick's Day, we're asking, are men in kilts hot or not. So we have a lot of viewers sounding off on this. Bethany Dooley says, men in kilts are hot everywhere. Are those the Lucky Charms you speak of? LOL. Ashley Engel, Lucky Charms, the cereal is amazing.
Okay.
Billy Hines, yes, I believe in Lucky Charms. If you dig your hand in a box of Lucky Charms cereal and come out with 5 marshmallows, you have good luck for that day. Men in kilts remind me of Willie from The Simpsons.
Okay, and you said we would have hot men in kilts. Where are they? Well, I'll tell you where they are. They're right over on the Daily Buzz stages, right here. We don't have just the girls from the Tilted Kilt. We got the guys.
We also... All right, time for a little head drama this morning. This is what we want to know. Why do guys get a free pass to check out other women even when theirs is not around? Everybody's going to have their own opinions on this, including you guys, but I want to share a few from our viewers. First off, JP says, because men are pigs. That's why we will never get mad cow disease. Just saying. And Charlene Foster says, women generally look with class. We might be on a diet, but it doesn't mean we can't look at the menu. If my 40-year-old husband wants to look at that 26-year-old girl thinking she's going to do something for him, go for it. Fantasies are always nice to have.
Ouch. Got to turn of the knife on that one.
All right, what do you guys think?
I don't see any problem whatsoever. I say, once you start looking, then you're probably dead as a guy. But we're talking about this earlier. If you're going up and down in your head, like, I mean,
yeah, that's when it bothers me.
Well, then you're probably dating a schmuck or a tool.
Yeah.
Right. If they do that, there's probably a pretty good chance.
You have to. I mean, you have to definitely when you're with your wife or your girlfriend, you show some respect. I mean, you can, and by the way, it's always nice to have a wife like I have. I maybe think Chris probably does too. Who doesn't mind if she catches you, checking out a pretty girl every now and then? But yeah, if you're sitting there at dinner and your eyes never leave the waitress, that's a whole other thing. Okay, and
the video was what I was trying to make a reference
the video there that you were seeing there was this thing that's gone viral, and it was this woman, a couple of women who actually put hidden cameras in the back of their jeans and their derriere, and then filmed all the guys that would walk behind them and then check out their butts, which is not surprising. Again, if you got it, it's going to be looked at.
What's surprising, I think, is there's women in that video that are checking out the women wearing the camera
Doing
as
a comparative analysis,
so,
maybe?
Who knows? Who knows what it is? But let us know what you think. Head on over to DailyBuzzNow.com or our Facebook page. Is it okay for men to check out other women even when they have another girl?
Oh, the head drama. Check out these stories on our new and improved website, DailyBuzzNow.com. And do me a favor, pass the aspirin while you're at it.
St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of our viewers. And we're talking about Lucky Charms. You all have a Lucky Charm. I know Andy and I posted this on our Facebook page. And we all have shared throughout the morning ours. Do you really believe in Lucky Charms?
No.
You don't. But you have something that you...
Well, no. I mean, back when you played baseball, you had the quote of the day from Ted Williams. You play baseball and you fail so often that you get superstitions. So I had superstitions when I was playing baseball, but not so much anymore.
No, there's nothing that you carry around. A lot of people do that rabbit's foot or little horseshoes. You don't have anything like that?
No, never really got into that.
I don't buy into it either, but a lot of people do. Mitch, do you have something that you carry?
I do, actually, and even though it's always changed out, but I keep this rubber band always on me because it's always a reminder of you should always think positive, and every time you don't,
you give yourself a little...
Yeah, and I got this from Mexico, and I would say my wife is my good luck charm.
Well, there you go.
Very cool.
And she is charming.
She is very charming.
Let us know if
and
you
I have
a
her
good
in my
luck
pocket.
And the top 12 performed last night on Idol, singing songs from the year that they were born.
We're going to show you some of the fine performances, but also at the end of this montage, there's a little hot mess for you as well. Check it out.
Wow. Ryan.
Live TV people. Kissing the mic here.
Ryan's doing makeup now. Wow.
So what had happened? happened. She obviously had this bright red lipstick on, and she hit her mouth with the microphone and then hit her face again and got red lipstick on her chin, on her cheek, all over. So Ryan Seacrest steps in to wipe her lipstick off.
What did they kill, a whole whale for that lipstick or something like that?
Oh, come on. Otherwise, it was a really good night. I mean, that Pia, she gets my vote. She's amazing. And tonight, there's another one that gets
6-minute quiz time. Here's the question. We're asking what 1980s TV show will reunite at the 2011 TV Land Awards show. I'll have that answer.
Dose of news, hot trends, and celebrity hot messes. Got your quote of the day on this St. Patrick's Day. Baseball is the only field of endeavor where a man can succeed 3 times out of 10 and be considered a good performer. By the great Ted Williams. Paulie in Boston.
Hey, Paulie!
Wanted us to read that. We chose Boston. Luck of the Irish, right?
There you go.
It's St. Patrick's
Can't go
Day.
wrong.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. We're talking about a guy who had a unique way to pay his credit card bill. Was not too pleased with the bank, and well, he took it out on him in 1 penny at a time, I guess.
There you go.
Gave him his cents.
Also, the return of the great Tillman.
excited.
Tillman, the skateboarding dog.
So excited.
There he is
Look at
right
him.
there.
He just wants to ride. He just wants to ride on the skateboard.
Mitch is going to be hanging out with Tillman and Tillman's
love
owner
it.
there. And also, we're talking about how you're spending your tax refund coming up in just a second. But first, those are your big stories. Let's head around the water cooler, talking about a couple financial stories with our watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski.
Good morning.
First up, we're talking about $5 ATM fees. There's some banks, Chase being one of them in Texas, I believe also in Illinois, that are test marketing $5 fees. You know, you get annoyed enough at $2 or $3. Now we're potentially looking at $5.
Yeah.
Well, I assume that they're trying to get into the same racket that those payday loan places have that charge like Tony Soprano type rates.
Right.
It is what it is. I mean, they're going to charge you what people are going to pay.
Right.
And I have a funny feeling, a sinking suspicion that a lot of these ATMs are probably in certain communities, maybe when you shouldn't be taking money out at 2 o'clock in the morning. Could be me, call me crazy.
Well, the Wall Street Journal is saying, you know, Texas and Illinois, that's the only place you're seeing them right now. Do you think this is going to catch on and we're going to see it in other states?
We'll see how smart people are. I mean, if people are willing to go spend $5 to take $20 out, you know what? I'm sorry. No. You know, stupid as a stupid does.
Those numbers are even higher. I was out at Clio's, and they give you Clio dollars that you can only use. You can only use them inside of Clio.
Good to know, Mitch. Good to know. You're talking about smart and stupid. Do you think it's smart or stupid for a guy to pay off his credit card in pennies?
I think he's got a lot of time on his hands to actually collect those pennies.
Yeah.
That's for darn sure. Where are you going to find those pennies?
This is another story that we're talking about this morning. His name is Thierry Catches. I hope that I'm saying this right. He rolled up 650,000 pennies, loaded them into crates, and then drove them into the bank to pay off his $6,500 credit card debt. He was upset with the bank because they wouldn't refinance a loan for him, and they charged him all these fees on his credit card, so that's how he paid it off. Ridiculous.
He personally rolled 650,000 pennies?
Personally did it.
That's
yeah.
quite a statement.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know what you think about this. Masculine gal time, as I like to call it, because I got the boys joining me this morning. How will you use your tax refund? Do you plan to spend it or save it is the question that we are asking today. I know both of you have weighed in on this topic before, and you all say that if you get money back, don't be excited about it. It's not a good thing.
Well, yeah, it's just that if you're getting money back, what you should do is because you say, and a lot of people say, oh, this helps me to save my money because it's gone from my paycheck, so I don't think about it, and then I get it back. And what Chris has always told people is, okay, well then adjust it so that that money that's currently going into your tax, getting taken out, goes into an IRA or a mutual fund, just as you don't miss it, and then you'll gain interest.
Well, I wouldn't suggest with the money that you have to use for taxes to go putting it into the stock market. You got to put it into an interest-bearing account at that point in time because you're going to need to have access it in a short period of time. But, you know, once again, it's your money that you're getting back. It's not a bonus plan. You didn't win the Obama lottery or something like that. It's your money.
Well, our Galtime Financial Pro says these things. You should pay off your credit card debt if you get some money back, beef up your savings account, add an extra payment to your mortgage, or contribute to a 529 college fund. We also reached out to our viewers and wanted to know how you will spend yours if you get anything back. And Debbie says paying bills, finishing the construction project in my living room, added a wall, need to finish drywall, mud and paint, then buy a new TV for that new wall. Renee says it's already gone. My husband and I each got what we wanted. He bought a 40-foot car trailer for his race cars, and I got 2 gold tickets for a convention for the TV show Supernatural.
They're getting too much money back. That's
Yeah.
an example right there. I mean, if you were able to buy all that with your tax refund, you're giving the government too much money and you're going to have to readjust what you're withholding.
And here's the thing, too. Again, if you take Chris's advice and you readjust your holdings and put it into an interest-bearing account, you can buy a bigger boat trailer at the end of the year because you will have made more money.
Exactly.
Very cool. Let us know what you think on galtime.com.
Galtime and the Daily Buzz are giving away a purse and jewelry from Our House Jewels. Enter to win on galtime.com, where you'll also find stories about style, beauty, and much more.